I'm Larra Francesca as Sam. I am a student. I create content. I'm also a motivational speaker. Biglang sumabog, may sumabog. Tapos yung nakita ko parang napaka maliwanag na light. The next thing I knew po, umaapoy na kami. Like everything I saw was flames.
Dumaan ka ba sa depression?
So wala akong time na binibigay for like the depression but or like being sad. So because I wanted to survive.
Every time you look at the mirror during that time, ano yung nakikita mo?
I saw my scars and I saw what could have been.
Kwento na natin sa kanila yung pinagdaanan mo. Kasi physically, I'm sure, yan lagi yung unang napapansin sa'yo. What happened?
Okay.
Diba?
Right, for sure. You're right on that na when I meet new people po. Yun,
What happened?
Yun talaga.
Ganun
Yeah,
kaagad.
exactly. Nung 11 years old po ako, nag-backup dancer kami ng mga cousins ko sa isang local festival sa Lapu-Lapu City, sa Olango Island, just off the coast of Lapu-Lapu City po. Tapos, nag-power outage, merong transformer yata na sumabog sa nearby na post. Tapos, I had to answer the call of nature. Gusto kong umihi noon. And I didn't have a phone or a flashlight. So, yung cousin ko nag-volunteer to bring yung kandila. And then, while we were there, and while I was halfway through finishing my business up,
Business up is, patapos na siyang umihi. Okay.
Opo. Yung patapos na akong umihi.
Oo.
Biglang sumabog, may sumabog. Tapos yung nakita ko parang napaka maliwanag na light. The next thing I knew po, umaapoy na kami. Like everything I saw was flames and we were on fire. May nakita kong bucket of water sa far left corner. Tapos dinip ko yung head ko doon kasi I was thinking na put myself back up. I would wake up kasi bangungot lang diba? This only happens in the movies. Hindi to nangyayari sa totoong buhay. But when I took my head off, we were there. We were actually burning. Tapos, miraculously...
May nararamdaman ka nun while burning? Wala?
Yeah, very painful. Hindi ko na maalala yung... Basta, what I know now, it was very, very painful. Painful is an understatement pala. Sumisigaw din po kami nun. So I was with my cousin inside then. And then miraculously...
Pati yung pinsan mo?
Yeah, because she was bringing po the candle kasi nag-volunteer siya. And then miraculously, we got out. I really credit that to Jam po, my cousin's Jam. And when we went out to seek refuge sa outside world, my mirror, tinignan ko yung sarili ko. Tapos parang, again, parang siyang nasa movie na yung light lang sa moon coming from a small speck sa window, and then looked at myself in the mirror and asked, what will my life be after this? The year after that po was spent in and out of the hospital. Nagkaroon kami ng 9 operations under general anesthesia. And on the 9th operation, sinabi ng doctors na wag na natin i-undergo ang general anesthesia kasi baka hindi sila makagising. So they did the operations while we were awake, conscious talaga. Yung ginawa nila, parang sinubmerge nila kami sa whirlpool. Parang whirlpool or like jacuzzi but stronger po. Tapos yung water nun, may medicine. Tapos sinasubmerge nila kami para yung bandages na pinambalot sa wounds or sa burns, mag-soften para pag tanggal ng doctors, hindi na masyadong masakit. Pero it was still masakit. The next 7 years were spent po trying to get back to society. So basically, healing yung intangible paso. So my physical, and I would also say there's a mental and emotional.
Everything,
burns.
spiritual, psychological, lahat yan.
For sure. I did that by wearing masks and cardigans kasi hindi ko talaga gustong lumabas. Kasi I was a preteen, you could say.
Oo, kasi magdadalaga ka 11, tapos 12, tapos 13. Pa-teenager.
Yes po. So, parang yung self-image, nagsa-start na maano ng utak ko. So, hindi ko gustong lumabas, pero naisip ng mom ko na hindi pwede. Dapat kang, go back to society again, go to school, or like mingle with your friends again. So, yung uncle ko na si Fair, meron po siyang masks, meron yata yun. Tapos nakita niya, gusto mo mag-mask na lang, or like mag-jacket or mag-cardigan just so I get outside the house. Kasi hindi po talaga ako, yung route ko nun, house, sasakyan, tsaka sa hospital. Tapos wala talagang any visitor na pumupunta sa bahay kasi ayaw ko.
Dumaan ka ba sa depression?
The depression to me came years after. Maybe after like the 7th year na nun, yung when I came face to face with like what I looked like talaga. So like after the 7th year, I went back to the place where the accident happened and did exactly the same things I did. Went inside the comfort room, went out, and
Bakit ka bumalik doon sa lugar na nangyari yan?
to heal.
Sinuggest ba yan ng therapist?
No, I just did it on my own.
Parang bumalik ka doon sa lugar kung saan nabago yung buhay mo.
Yes,
Binago
yes.
niya yung buhay mo.
Yes po. And then, after that, that's where the bouts of yung depression na sinasabi po. When I tried everything I can and saw no progress,
Paano mo masasabing walang progress? Ano yung walang progress?
yung acceptance of what I look like.
Every time you look at the mirror during that time, ano yung nakikita mo?
I saw my scars and I saw what could have been. I saw yung mga thoughts na nag-run po sa head na if this did not happen, or just like looking at myself, I did not see myself as presentable or pretty or like my peers who can go out just the way they are.
So, paano mo nga na-navigate yung buong teenage life mo?
I would say po, yung pagsusuot ko ng masks at cardigans, nakahelp talaga siya sa akin. Kasi parang na-redirect yung thoughts ng mga tao or like yung attention ng mga tao. Instead of like the actual scars, yung nakikita nila yung clothes, yung, bakit siya nagmamask? Or like, hindi naman siya K-pop? Or like, ano ba, may sakit ba siya? I allowed myself that. Para sa akin, okay lang na they can make assumptions about the clothes, pero hindi sa my actual scars. Pero on the advantage naman po nun, na-build ko yung non-physical aspects ng sarili ko. Like my academics, I worked hard on it, or the way I treated other people. You know, parts of Larra that aren't really visible or tangible or physical.
So, ano yung turning point na pagod na akong itago kung ano yung pinagdaanan ko? Pagod na ako itago yung mga scars and all. Parang it's about time na kung ito talaga yung situation, makita nilang lahat.
Ng pandemic po. Kasi wala na akong excuse to hide behind masks and cardigans. Nasa bahay lang naman ako. So, why would I wear masks and cardigans at home? And then every time I see myself in the mirror or like a reflection, I would see myself and there's a dip in my heart pag nakikita ko yung mukha ko or like yung physical features
Pag
ko.
sinabi mong dip in your heart, paano yung feeling na yun?
Parang hinayang yata. Yung parang, this is what you look like. Parang ganun po.
Parang yung realization na, ito yung itsura ko.
Yeah, or and even I was still, parang, ito ba talaga yung itsura ko? Ito yung itsura mo. Or like, accept mo lang yung sarili. Parang yung conflicting na, okay, in my head, I think I'm okay. When I actually nakikita ko na yung sarili ko, realize ko na yung pagtatago ko sa ibang tao, na akala ko sa ibang tao ako nagtatago din pala ako sa sarili ko. So like, I was hiding from myself more than hiding from the world.
Paano yung turning point na, okay, pagod na ako magtago? Ano yung ginawa mo?
So, challenge ko po yung sarili ko na ayaw kong makita ng mga tao, magpapakita ako sa mga tao. Just so I know in my head that I can do it, and there's more to me than these fears and these physical features. Tinanong ko yung sarili ko, ano ba talaga yung kinatatakutan ko? Makita ng ibang tao. Bakit ka natatakot pag nakita ka ng ibang tao? Kasi i-judge nila ako. Saan nanggaling yung thinking na i-judge ka sa ibang tao? Maybe what I think other people thought of me were the things I thought about myself. And I had to work on that. First bouts ko of being exposed to the world po ay nag-post ako ng picture on my Facebook. Nag-post ako tapos nag-long caption ako. This is my face, and as much as you guys are starting to get used to it, I also am just starting to get used to it. So bear with me with this. So parang I'm taking along my closest friends to journey with me in accepting what I look like.
When you posted that, ano yung nakuha mong reaction sa mga tao?
They got inspired for someone to go through that grave na situation po.
For the longest time, tinago mo yung sarili mo, tinago mo yung pinagdaanan mo, tinago mo yung situation mo. But meron bang feeling of freedom nung tinanggal mo na yung mask? Was it liberating for you?
Opo, definitely. Not just from the scars, but from self-familial and societal imposed limitations and identities that I got accustomed to.
Okay, malalim yun.
So,
Ibig sabihin,
ibig sabihin, yung mga acculturated na ano po, yung limitasyon na parang nathi-think na, or na-identify natin with like what you look like, you're more than that, your socioeconomic status, you're more than that, your grades, you're more than that, or like these standards, these societal standards that we peg ourselves against. Parang we're so much more than that.
but it's a journey to finally accepting and calling yourself beautiful.
Definitely, yep.
Mas marami sigurong nagbukas ng opportunity and doors for you. And mas lumawak yung buhay mo nung tinanggal mo na yung mask, nung hindi ka na nagtatago.
To me, what changed really is how other people connected with my story. Parang successes and wins are so easy to share and stuff, but when I unmasked myself and shared myself po sa world, yung with all the ugly quote unquote or like the unconventional na itsura, nakikita ng mga tao sa sarili nila all the other parts of themselves that they're not that proud of, and they get to see, hey, it's worthy of celebrating also, or it's worthy of acceptance also. So yun po, parang across the board, maraming nag-resonate doon, tapos may nag-reach out ng mga organizations for me to talk, or maybe to write something about self-acceptance or self-love.
So parang after dito, naging motivational speaker ka?
Yes po.
Na-invite ka to speak in different events to talk about?
My story, basically.
So when you talk about your story, what do you want them to hear?
So there's two things. That's the gist. First po, kahit ano pa yung mga limitasyon na parang naiisip mo, yun ka, you're so much more than that. And then number two is, again, regardless of your successes and despite your setbacks, you will always be worthy, valued, loved. And to me, additional is beautiful.
Tsaka feeling ko while listening to you, ang nakukuha ko naman na message is be kind to yourself.
True po,
Kasi
self-compassion.
feeling ko ang number one critic natin yung sarili natin. Bago pa tayo husgahan ng iba, nahusgahan na natin lahat ng parts ng sarili
True,
natin.
very well put.
That's why what others see in us is what we see in ourselves.
Definitely. Because when I was yung nagtatago pa po ako, parang nami-mirror yung reflection ng other people. Parang, parang hindi pa siya okay. Sige, so hindi din tayo okay when mag-interact tayo with her. But when I actually, like, if my demeanor changed, when I became confident, yung feeling ko yung interactions ko with other people, parang hindi na sila nagbabat ng okay, that's what you look like, okay, whatever, you're more than that naman. You model what, or how you want other people to treat you.
Kasi bago ka makarating sa ganyang klaseng confidence at bago ka magkaroon ng ganyang self-awareness and self-assurance, kailangan mo ng support.
Very much.
Hindi lang kaya ng isang tao yung ganyang
Very
klaseng
much.
journey, lalo na yung pinagdaanan mo.
Yes po.
So, sino yung mga naging importante sa journey mo na to na dumagdag sa confidence mo, dumagdag sa security mo as a woman?
My family, definitely, and my friends. Yung sinasabi ko po, parang na-bless talaga ako sa ng mga tao na nakapaligid sa akin. Kasi nung hindi ko pa na-realize na, okay, I'm more than whatever pala, in-embody na yun. Trinato na po ako ng family and friends ko na more than whatever, like blank or like scars or like what happened to me. Grabbing my mom, my dad, my siblings. There was one specific friend. So, nag-transfer ako ng school, nung senior high school ko. Nag-test muna ako to one person na hindi ko kilala. So, that was nice. Sabi ko sa kanya, magsasend ako ng picture ko sa'yo. React however you want. Basta isasend ko lang. This is for my personal growth. Tapos, nung sinend ko, grabe yung kawa ko. So, nung nasend ko, sabi niya, okay, that's what you look like? Hindi naman masyadong different sa kahit na parang simple lang yun para sa kanya, it did a very huge part in my acceptance and healing. That, yun nga po, there's unconditional positive regard na even other people who don't know you that much, there are people out there pala who goes beyond what is physical, or like goes beyond what you think is defining you.
May babalikan pala ako, naalala ko, kasi sinabi mo, bumalik ka dun sa lugar kung saan ka nasunog.
Opo.
Ano yung una mong naramdaman nung bumalik ka dun?
Grabe, no? I'm here.
You survived.
Yes. And regardless of ano pa yung itsura ko or ano yung mga pinagdaanan ko, the very important thing for me was I was there. Which is a miracle, you know? Not everyone gets parang the appreciation nga of life that I'm breathing. I saw myself back in the mirror when everything felt uncertain during that time. So,
Naka-survive.
yeah, exactly. Oh my God, people asked me if I was gonna cry on Toni Talks. I was like, no, I don't think so. I've talked about this for a long time already.
Oh, sinishare mo na lagi yung story.
Oo nga po. Okay, that's your magic pala.
No, kasi it takes a lot of courage
For sure.
to face the place na nag-cause ng so much pain sa'yo and that changed your life. It takes a lot of courage, self-acceptance for me, and siguro sa journey mo kailangan din ng forgiveness.
Definitely. Yes. Forgiveness was such a long and hard journey para sa akin. Kasi when a tragedy happens to a family, there's blame that gets thrown around, which is parang na-left unaddressed po. That's what I had to deal with nung 7 years when I looked at myself in the mirror. Akala ko it was very physical, the things I had to overcome. Pero more than anything, it was really forgiveness pala. For other
Forgiveness.
people and for myself. Where do I put this emotion, this thinking? Who's to be held accountable for what happened to me? So, parang yun, I had to grapple with
Sinong
that.
may kasalanan? Ba't ako nagkaganito?
Yes, exactly. And I was
Ganon,
like,
oo.
is it me?
Ano yung kailangan mong i-forgive sa sarili mo?
I did blame myself for what happened. Because if, just the regular, like if I didn't,
Kung di ka naihi.
yes, the most irrational things po, if hindi ako naihi or if hindi ako nag-ask na mag-volunteer yung cousin ko, baka hindi siya nadamay. Yun po mainly. Or if I didn't go through that, my parents and my family would not have gone through the things that they did because it was very difficult. My fire was very physical, but theirs weren't. But that doesn't mean that they didn't go through it also. So it was that. It was forgiving myself.
Forgiving yourself.
And
Kasi wala ka namang kasalanan.
yes, exactly. And that very thought na wala akong kasalanan came very difficult to me.
24 years old ka na ngayon. Eh di ba ako naniniwala ako, we are our own personal hero. Yung 24 years old mo, what do you want to say to that 11-year-old little girl who went through that?
You're gonna be okay. It's not your fault.
What is your message to people who are going through with, struggling with their own scars? May it be physical or internal.
That your scars don't make you ugly. They're emblems of the things you have gone through and the things you have triumphed over. And the strength of who and what you are.
So when you look at yourself in the mirror today, what do you see?
Oh my gosh, such a pretty woman. I looked at myself in the in the dressing room. I was like, oh, that's so beautiful.
Tapos di ba naalala ko yung sinabi mo nung nakita mo yung sarili mo sa mirror, sabi mo, what will your life be after this? Model. Model.
You're a model.
Advocate. Inspirational speaker.
Wow.
Di ba? Yan pala yung life that's ahead of
Yeah.
you.